I'm live. I'm live. I'm alive. Hey, everybody. I'm not sure. It says two people here. So, hi, two people. How you doing? Been a while. I feel like I've been away forever. I checked back. It's only been 11 days. I thought it was a bit longer than that. So, welcome into my Let's Get Reacquainted chat. Let's get caught up. It's been a while. Hey, NHL. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, I just came on. Just got on. This stupid chat, they put up the okay, I don't know anybody if you live streamed before, but so you've got the camera window here and they put the chat here, but they put the chat up before you can log in, so the chat window covers where you log in to go live, and just a little piece sticks over, and it's dumb. I'm good, buddy. How you doing? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is keeping well. I am doing my best to stay well. I had to go shopping again Saturday, and it's been, 4 days? So, you sit here and you wait for yourself to get sick if you might have picked something up while you're out. And other than that, it's pretty good. So if you go shopping once a week, it's kind of like for the 4 or 5 days of every week, you're worried you got sick when you went shopping, and then when you haven't by about day 5, then you got 2 days where you're mildly worried. Yeah, buddy, Romanov seems to be coming. His agent couldn't make it any clearer, I don't think, by saying that he's coming to the NHL. So, yeah. Hey, Wolverine, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for coming on in. It's been a while since I've been on, so I hope everybody's been keeping well. I hope everybody around you has been keeping well. It seems like all this social distancing, staying at home, seems to be working. The numbers look like they're going to be much better, and yeah, apparently even Canada, they're talking about maybe relaxing some of this social distancing and staying at home and not working. Maybe in a few weeks they might start. We'll have to see how it goes, but so it's good news. It's good news. Well, thank you, NHL. I appreciate that. I've been, it's one of the reasons I haven't been live streaming. I've been trying to do a little bit better for my videos, take a little bit extra time. I was having writer's block, like I really was, an idea block or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it seems like that ended, which is good news. So that's why I've been back to doing my videos again with, yeah, better results, better ideas starting to come. I'm starting to get my ideas again like I used to. I'd come across things and I'd have an idea. For the last few weeks, it was like, doesn't matter what I watched, what I saw, I just couldn't get any ideas. So it's feeling a little better. So hopefully, yeah, it's coming along. Hey, Automatic, how's it going? Yeah, it's been a while. I've been 11 days since my last live stream. I'm gonna start doing this a little bit more often. Well, at least once a week. I just I needed a little bit of time off from the live stream. I wanted to concentrate more on my videos without worrying about live streaming for a little bit. So that's kind of why I did that. But I thought today would be a good day to come back out and live stream. I did. I recorded 4 videos today, actually. 2 are for something for later. They're not for right now, but the other 2 are up there. I wrote an actual poem again. I hadn't been able to do that for a while. Let's see, Wolverine. I've watched the Hockey Guy's off-season look for the Habs, and he says that Taylor Hall of Montreal would be good and really benefit the Habs since they have trouble scoring. What do you think? Well, I did an off-season outlook too. I did it a few days after him on purpose. I honestly got the idea. I guess got the idea of doing. Not that I got the idea of doing it, but I got the idea of how to do it. I wasn't sure because I wanted to do something like that. And then I saw his, and I thought, well, I'm going to do mine. So, yeah, I kind of, I gave my idea on that. And this is what I say. And since it's come out, I haven't even had a chance really to do a video on it. I think maybe it's worth doing a video. And this is from Pierre Maguire. So if you don't like Pierre Maguire, take it with a grain of salt if you want. But the Hockey Guy kind of agrees with it. salary cap might go down as much as 40% next season. If that's the case, there's no way to afford a guy like Taylor Hall. How do you sign a UFA? Yeah. Now, would Taylor Hall benefit Montreal? Would Taylor? Of course he would. He would. But at what cost? This is the point. You're giving up cap money that I think cap space for the next couple of years might be very precious. So I think the way to go, if you're going to try to get more scoring up front, is a trade. And you know what? If the cap goes down, there's going to be trades. There's going to be trades out there. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Although the hockey guy had a good idea about how they might do it, is try to maybe prorate salaries for the 1 year, down 40%. If the cap goes down 40%, might have to have prorated salaries for a year or two till the cap can come back up. So I don't know. I think things are so much in the air right now. One thing's for sure. If hockey's coming back, there's not going to be anybody in the stands to watch them. That seems for sure. For another, I think maybe even part of or all of the 2021 season might be like that as well. So, but I would think if playoffs come back, and it looks like it might be able to in the summer, they might finish the regular season and do playoffs. It's going to be to empty stands. That seems for sure. So, okay, so Taylor Hall to Montreal. Look, it would be good. I'm not saying a guy like Taylor Hall we wouldn't benefit from having him here, but yeah, it's at what cost? And I think with everything up in the air, I don't know. I don't know where UFAs are going to even stand at this point. With RFAs, they don't have a lot of choice in general, unless they have arbitration rights. They don't have a lot of choice in what they're offered. So, but it's the UFAs. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I really don't. So it's a good question. It's a good question. So what do I think? Well, I think we could really use a guy like Taylor Hall up front for now. But you know what? Here's an aspect of it I don't like. You're signing him as a UFA, which in general, that means a long-term deal. There's going to be terms. So you're looking at anywhere from 5 to 7 years. Do we need a guy like Taylor Hall around for that long? And I know that's kind of harsh sounding. I get it. And by the way, while I think of this, 2 options here. I'm not going to be scrolling up and down. So if I miss a comment of yours and you want me to read it, rewrite it, and I'll get to it eventually. Or you can take a super chat or a super sticker, and I'll see it and I'll definitely read it. So those are the 2 options. But if I missed anything, please just rewrite it, okay? I'd appreciate that. Oh, wow, there's 8 people in here. I wouldn't have thought. What was I saying now? Oh, yeah, the aspect with Taylor Hall. Oh, I shouldn't have gotten off my track because now I totally went off my track. That's not good. I guess term's a problem for any of the free agents. Well, for Montreal, because you got guys coming in. Do you want Taylor Hall here for 5 to 7 years at what's probably going to be $9 million or in that ballpark, higher, lower, a little bit? Who knows? I don't know. That's why I really think making a deal. I'm working on a video for that. Some possibilities that I would like to see. Instead of them signing an expensive free agent, to maybe make a trade and bring in a guy to help the offense up front, because you really want a guy for 3 years at most, really. If you're bringing in a veteran who's going to cost you more as you go along, you want to bridge that gap between now and when these kids are coming. So, okay, let me get back to you guys. Well, NHL, like I really appreciate it. Thanks. I'm doing my best. I appreciate that you're enjoying them. That's for sure. George N. My day's going good. How's your day? Ben does beats. How's the day? I've had a good day. Been productive today. At least that. I don't have a ton of days where I'm super productive, but today I was. How are you guys doing? Everybody out there? Yeah, there's 9 people. How's all my peeps? I didn't mean that. Joe, we got a mud in the house. Joe hasn't seen his girlfriend in a month and a half, and understandably, is going crazy. Well, the good news apparently, Joe, is this: that I watched I watch Trudeau every day at his 11:15 speech, and I want to know what's going on. And apparently, things are going well in Canada. To the fact that they're already looking ahead. Probably you're looking at 3 weeks to a month, though, but that they're starting to look at scenarios where they can start relaxing some of these restrictions that we're under, and so that's a good thing. Say automatic. I was listening to 690 and they had a segment on drafting for need and how that has not worked out. They were talking about if they just chose the best player available, they could always trade. Well, that's the point though. You shouldn't really be drafting for need. There was okay, we needed centers that one year. After that, there was, sometimes maybe you might draft your first pick that way because of how you fall and who's available around you. But I kind of think every pick after that, you should draft always best player available. And like you say, you could always trade after. Yeah, well, that's what I guess I was reading your next two comments. Hey, Habs girl's in the room. Hey, Habs girl, I hadn't seen you out there for so long that I was worried that something happened to you. And then I saw your comment earlier, and I was really happy. And I'm happy I was hoping you'd be in the room. Happy to see you back there. How are things in Australia? I can't even imagine. Well, I watch actually every morning. I watch the ABC from there. I get it. I wake up. I don't have the TV here in the front room. I'm not hooked up to any antennas here. So I actually watch Australian TV every morning. Okay, so automatic. So I think I answered you there. I think. So my thoughts are that, yeah, I've always said this, though, that draft by best player available. It's the best strategy because if you draft by best player available, you cut down the chance of having a bust, I think, quite a bit, because how many best players available are going to be busts? But when you start going by position that you need, you might be skipping over somebody. It's not a good idea, That's why people are making the videos, redrafting the 2010 draft, redrafting the 2015 draft, because there's mistakes every draft. So, and I said it in the Romanov video that, watch, Romanov's going to be one of those players when they do a redraft of 2018, he's going to be up in that first round, high up. That's what I think. Let me see. I'm forced here because Joe's a mod. I'm going to scroll up just for Joe. I don't care how long Taylor Hall would be signed for. He could be signed for just one season. And I think it would be a win for us. He's great. One season of him, I think, would be fine to get us in the playoffs. You know what? I don't disagree with you on that point, but do you think he's really going to sign for one season? So I don't think so. But, that might be an option that these guys sign contracts for. But you see, I would see them working it out more like this. They sign a contract with their existing team for one more season. Doesn't upset the apple cart, and their free agency starts the next year. I don't know. Maybe they get some kind of perk for that. I mean, I don't know. But I can't see that happening, that he's going to sign anywhere for one season. So, I don't know. And, who knows what's going to happen in the future? So you sign a Taylor Hall, you're thinking, well, we only need him for a couple of years. And then somebody goes down and it really changes and you go, wow, thank God we had Taylor Hall. So, it could be a good idea to sign him. But I don't know. Would he want to come here? Do you really think? I haven't heard anything about that one. I have no idea if he would want to come here at all. Players like to use Montreal for as bait for the other team to sign their teams to sign them or whatever, or another team to sign them without really planning to come to Montreal. And so I don't know. Could we use his talent up front? Yeah, I think until I think Nick Suzuki is going to be an elite level talent, but that's still a couple years away at least. So until those kind of things come to fruition, yeah, we could really use a guy like a Taylor Hall. I haven't really kept up, so I might have. I don't remember if I even knew who the upcoming free agents are, UFAs are. If Taylor Hall's the cream of the crop, which I suspect he might be, but you know, we might want to look at trying to land one of those top free agents up front. You know, might be a good idea because it takes away the problems with scoring. It can only enhance the other guy, you know, help out the other guys around them, and yeah. But they have to look. They have to address that backup goalie and the left defense problem. Yeah, Romanov's going to be here. Romanov is not going to be a top pairing left D for at least, I got to say, probably 2 years. So if you're looking for him to come in and be, oh, he's going to be right, he's not. He's going to be a third pairing defenseman. If they finish this season, he'll be a third pairing for sure for that amount of time. And more than likely, most, if not all, of next season, then you figure he'll move up a pairing. And then if he improves even that much more, he can move into a top 2 defenseman. But, yeah, that's where I think it is going to be with him. Let me see now something I wanted to see. Yeah, so I think we could use that help, but they have to address those 3 spots. I think you want to get some scoring up front. You need that backup goaltender and decide whether it's going to be Lindgren or it's going to be somebody else. I think either way, Lindgren will get a shot too, but I think they're going to sign somebody else as well. And depending who they sign, if they sign Halak, Lindgren is done. I don't think they're giving him a proper look. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, we have a better chance on Hall than Barzal, unless Bergevin offers Barzal way too much money for the offer sheet. Well, Lamoriello's already been quoted as saying, doesn't matter what's being offered to Barzal, he's matching it. I kind of believe him, and I don't think anybody wants to for any player. Like, what are you going to play? What are you going to offer him? $15 million a year? Nobody's worth that. I mean, McDavid doesn't get that. Why would Barzal? So I don't think anyone's going to offer him that kind of money. And Lamoriello is going to match. So I wouldn't offer sheet. I don't think offer sheeting is the way to go because more than likely, either the player's not worth the money, that's why the team's not matching, or they're going to match. And then either way, it's a waste. If they match, it's a waste. And if the guy's not worth the money, if his own team doesn't think he's worth the money, more than likely he's not. There's a reason for that. So is it worth getting him? No. That's my opinion. Let's see, NHL 250, trying to get there. Hopefully redraft series. I have from 2003 to 2017. And well, everybody check out it. Oh, there's 12 people in here. If anybody hasn't checked out NHL Hockey News Report, he's got a channel. He's got great videos. Head on over there. He's trying to hit a certain number. Apparently, I've been good luck for him. So head on over there, check him out, subscribe, and then come on right back over. And yeah, I appreciate that if you do that. Always trying to support everybody on this platform, all hockey people, because we all get our own little, you know, we all have our own angle. You know, we might do a video even on the same topic, but it won't be the same video. It'll be, you know, I'll have my angle, NHL will have his angle, and then obviously he's going to do his own videos. I won't be doing, I mean, I'll be doing videos he won't be doing. So, yeah, it's always good to, I think, to subscribe to everybody. I'm subscribed to almost all the hockey people I can find that, you know, aren't ridiculous and aren't Leafs or Bruins. Actually, I am subscribed to one Leafs guy. I think I still am. Wow, I can't believe it. Oh, well, wow, there's people. I've got 13. It always helps to get thumbs up. If you're enjoying the live stream, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you're still in the room and haven't done that, it helps the algorithm kick in and all that stuff. It's always good. And it's a struggle right now to get views. So it always helps. So it's nice to get so many people. I didn't think that that would happen. So let's see now. Let's get to where we were. Oh, wow. NHL was in Australia. Awesome, buddy. Awesome. I'd love to go there. I really would love to go there. Joe, Carey Price has to be the biggest draft risk of all time. And luckily, it became possible, our greatest decision of all time in the draft. I don't know that he was such a risk drafting him. I mean, he was a thoroughbred. You knew he was going to be good. So I don't know if it was such a risk, even that we passed other players Offensive players that we could have gotten, I mean, maybe, but we wouldn't have had Carey Price. Dane Teagan, another mods in the room. Hey, Dane, how's it going? Krug is probably, I'm not sure what is Krug is. Krug is going to be a free agent, so whether we go after him or not. But remember, we've got a size problem already. Krug is a bit small. He's good, and especially on the power play, but he's a little small, so you got to take that into account as well. Excuse me. I was out walking again. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, I think. Again, it was a little cool and windy, and was windy out here. And I was like open-necked again. And of course, because I was shopping Saturday and it's 4 days ago, and now I'm going to worry all night till tomorrow when I'll wake up being fine. And I won't worry as much. But yeah, the beauty of today in this bloody COVID virus. Habs girl, don't think our government took it seriously enough when we had the first cases here. Think Canada, New Zealand, and a few other countries did a much better job. Think Trump did a really bad job given what's happening in the U.S. Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how you guys, when it started and everything, but Canada, we were slightly slow, but not bad. And in Quebec especially, very fast. He started when we had, I think, 39 cases. He asked us to stay home and close businesses and stuff. So in Quebec, they right away, and I think we're gonna end up benefiting from that. And Canada overall, very good. And one thing about Canada, which I don't know there, I know you guys have Job Keepers and the Job Keepers Act, and the other one, Job Givers Act. I'm not sure. There's one like that. I hear it on the. I'm very proud of my government in that. They took care of everybody, and the people that they haven't yet, every day he's announcing new measures. He announced some new ones today. I know for myself, I get GST. I got a double payment, not a double like single payment. I got a double yearly payment. So it was the last payment of the year, this one, and they just doubled up on it a few days later, which was really nice. I'm not complaining, and I'm very proud of the government, how quickly it's gone out. In the U.S., they're still waiting for checks. As a matter of fact, that orange piece of garbage they have leaving their country, he's delayed it another couple of days because he's insisted on having his name on the check, because he's not allowed in. It's a rule. He can't endorse those checks. He can't have his name as the endorser. So he's insisting that they print and add his name somewhere on the check, so people know that that's where it came from. That's the kind of piece of garbage he is. He's making people wait apparently 2-3 days longer because of that. And yeah, here people got double payments because they applied in both places by accident. That's how good our government has been. No, not right now, baby. Not right now. Okay, hang on a second. My cat wants something. I had to drink, and she wants up. Okay, here you go, baby girl. She's my 12. My 12. Where did I get that? I wish she was only 12. My 20-year-old cat. So yeah, I don't know, what were we talking about? Australia. There you go. The U.S. Honestly, they're talking about also maybe seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't see how. I honestly don't. I don't think they've handled it well enough, and I don't think they've hit their peaks at all. And I think they need to close down the country. These stay-in orders like we have here. We've had that for 5 weeks, 6 weeks now. They haven't done it yet. Some states have, but as far as countrywide, they haven't. And I think until they do that, you can't really mark the time until they hit their peak. I don't see how they're doing that. So I don't know. We'll see. But I think another 5 to 10 days over there, it's going to be pretty bad. But we're not going to face that here. Our numbers are looking good. We've done a good job. From what I understand in Australia, though, things are getting a little bit better there, from what I understand. And because we're talking about Australia. So, yeah. Paul Guy's in the room. Hey, 3 moderators tonight. Wow, what's up with that? That's awesome. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. I would like to see, automatic is saying, I would like to see an online NHL 2019 tournament, Stanley Cup format where 2 players from each team represent their team, broadcasted on TSN, and have the announcers call play-by-play video game tourney. Oh, well, that's an interesting idea. Listen, you could always send your ideas to them. They might do it. You never know. Dane, Kruger plays big, though. Yeah, no, I get that. But still, listen, we've got a bunch of guys on our team that are small. This is no doubt. Most of them play big, but some of them don't. So, you don't want – but, I'm not saying no. I wouldn't mind having a guy like Kruger. I don't like him as a Bruin, but you got to respect his talent, right? You got Krug, by the way, is not Kruger. Krug. I thought saying it wrong. Yeah, you got to respect that. And what a kick in the ass to Boston if he would score a few winning goals against them if we had him. But he's really good on the power play. That's from what I understand. He's really good on the power play. Okay, I was scrolled up, even though I said I'm not going to do that, but I was. So NHL Hagenu said he's got to go. If I didn't miss you, I'll speak to you later. Thanks for coming in. Let me see now. Jordan Tyler. Hey, Jordan. How's it going, buddy? Whatever happened to Zach Fucale? I believe he is in the ECHL. That's the last I heard. He's either, I don't know how much lower you can go than the ECHL, but I believe he's in the ECHL. He was supposed to replace Price, yeah. It's for goalies, it's a lot harder. And how many people were supposed to be this and that, and they don't make it? So, yeah. But I believe he's in the ECHL. They've assigned him somewhere. Automatic. How do you get ice to hold in vodka like that? Because it's just water. That's how you do it. Fucale's actually part of Tampa Bay's. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, that's true. But isn't he in the ECHL though for them for the Tampa Bay? I had read somewhere that they had assigned him to the ECHL. Yeah, Habs girl. Can you imagine? That's what type of a piece of garbage he is. And it doesn't surprise me, but it shows what a lack of empathy, a total lack of empathy that guy has, that he would make people wait. They're already waiting. How long? It's taking a while over there. And he's going to make them wait at the last minute a few extra days just to get his name on it because he's not in love with himself. Isaac Bonenfant. I don't know if I've seen you before. Welcome in, buddy. Nice to see a new name. What do I think the possibility is that Mark makes a move for number 1? And what would that trade involve? That's a good question. There's a lot of talk about it, actually, right now, because some people think that Steve Yzerman, well, first of all, you got to look at it this way. First of all, there's been no lottery yet, so we don't know who wins the lottery pick, who's actually got number 1 overall. So this is based on the fact that right now Detroit has it. So he'd be willing probably to, they think he might want to take the goalie or drop down and take, is it Stützle? I think that's what I've heard. So I guess the possibility, as I said, who would do that? Who would do that in other videos? They're talking that Detroit, if they end up with it, might be willing to. What would that trade involve? In my opinion, too much. You got to think that whoever's going to end up with number 1, if they're willing to trade it, they're going to want a lot. That's what I would think. So, in my opinion, straight up, too much. So I don't know. I guess though you got to explore it though. Like right, if Montreal doesn't get the first, second, or third pick, you kind of got to explore and see if you can move up. But I would think it's going to be a lot they're going to ask for. Paul, hey Rick, what are your thoughts on KK for next season? Do you think he will start in the NHL or more time with Laval? Well, I have 2 thoughts on that. The first one is I question only, will he be 100% recovered from his spleen injury? Because remember, he had a spleen injury, and I don't think we've heard, at least I haven't anyway, heard exactly does that mean he had his spleen removed, or he was like a bruise of some sort, like deep, or I don't know. But I believe he had an operation, and that tends to make me think he had his spleen removed, which is fine. He can be fine and play. There's been NHL players with no spleens. That's not necessarily a problem. So I don't know if that comes into play here. So I do expect him to start in the AHL, unless in training camp he is absolutely blizzard. What's the word I'm looking for? Lights out. I'll just go with that. If he just has a lights out training camp where he's unstoppable, I mean, then you got to keep him here. Other than that, I think he'll go back to AHL. He'll develop a little more. And honestly, it wouldn't shock me if KK does not make a full-time return unless there's a big injury late in the season or in the 21-22 season. So that's a hot take, I guess, maybe from here. But I could see KK maybe staying a full season down there. It would not shock me anyway. But have I given up on him? Do I call him a bust? Not at all. I think I was encouraged with his game, his improvement, and I think that needs to be furthered. And I don't think the NHL. I think it might not be the right place for him to develop. As much as he had a pretty good season, especially for an 18-year-old as a rookie, I think maybe that was a mistake in the long run. In the long run of the picture, the grand scheme, the grand picture, the big picture. Hey, it took like 7 tries to get to big picture. That's not bad. No, it's not good. I think that'll be the best thing for him to do. What I'll just say it. I'm trying to catch up here. Do I think first overall would be wise? He's had injuries, and we apparently have lots of centers. Listen, I know everybody wants Lafreniere, but I'm kind of afraid of that. So I'm not saying they shouldn't take Lafreniere if they get the opportunity, but something about it worries me. So let me be on record now to say the Habs do get him. I'm on record to say that there's something about him that worries me about either, maybe not so much that he's going to be a total bust, but that he's not that an elite player, that he has something that shortens his career. Something happens to, I don't know. I got this, if it's a psychic thing, I don't know, but yeah, something worries me about it. I'm kind of sold on Jamie Drysdale. So if they get 3rd pick, like I think if they get 2nd pick, you got to go with Byfield. I think you got to, in that you take the best player available. But I think if they get 3rd pick, it gives them the opportunity to take best player available, and or at least as close as you can be to the best player available, because you can argue with 1 or 2 other guys, and also fill a need that's going to be coming up soon in the next few years. So I think that's, like, to me, optimum. If they get that 3rd pick and then they take Jamie Drysdale, for me, I want Jamie Drysdale. And listen, last year with the KK, was it with the KK one? I wanted Brady Tkachuk, who I now really don't like. So take that with a grain of salt, right? Hey, Automatic, no problem. Hey, thanks. And I love you guys too, all of you. Love you all. Automatic just as much. Hey, yeah, be a teacher. Come on. Yeah, and see you next one. Appreciate that you came in. And listen, keep safe. Keep safe. And yeah, be here for the next one. That way we all know you're doing good. Habs girl, not sure about the Taylor Hall idea for the Habs. Is it more of a rumor or a serious possibility? Oh God, no, I don't think anything you can say. I don't think you can say anything's a serious possibility at this point, especially for UFAs. If you take into account that, say that cap goes down 40%. Look, if it goes down 40%, you're looking at, it's going to be somewhere in the low 50s, 50 million. That's a drop of 30 million. How do you get rid of 30 million? So unless they work out a way that you can sign a free agent right now at a prorated rate that goes up when the cap as the cap goes back up, that rate goes back up to the full amount. I don't see another way to do it. I don't know what's going to happen with UFAs. I really don't. Even RFAs, I just don't know. Like RFAs with arbitration, I don't know what they're going to do with all that. Because if the cap goes down, it's ridiculous. And they're going to need to know that what the cap's going to be, excuse me, before there's any free agency, before there's any kind of thing like that. They're going to need to know what it's going to be. Joey, how's you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while because I haven't live streamed in a while. Ryan T, how's it in Nashville? I'm doing good here, buddy. How's it in Nashville? You didn't miss much, and we're just talking about stuff. We're just talking about various things. Too many to repeat, but you can ask me anything you want, even if we've talked about it already. I will update you on what we've talked about and stuff like it. Nolan's in the room. Nolan, how's it going, buddy? I haven't seen you in a dog's age, all you guys. Good to see you guys. Thanks for all of you for coming in. I really do appreciate it. Isaac has been messing with the mock draft simulators. Me too. I want to do one where I can record the screen. I got a new program for that I might use. And we have a high chance of getting a pick between 8 and 10. So who would you like to see the Habs take in that position? Personally, I like Raymond. Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't on purpose because it's so hard to get a grasp of what's going to happen. I kind of been staying away from trying to speculate on all that stuff. I don't know enough about these young guys. I really don't. Honestly, I don't know if I can even try to figure out the order as high as 10. At this point, I think I'm good 5 down. After that, I don't know enough about these guys. So from what I understand, good choice. I've done the simulator a few times, and I've gotten Habs in one of the top 3 spots, I would say probably 30% of the time. And I probably did it about 10. So like 3 out of 10 times, I think I got it about 3 or 4 times. I got them in the top 3. So maybe we'll end up higher than that. You never know. Listen, anywhere 5 and up, you're getting a damn good player. Anywhere 5 or 6 to 10, I still think you're getting a. Well, let me restate that. Anywhere 1 to 5, you're getting probably. I would have to think all of them are going to be an elite player, franchise to elite player. Anywhere from 6 to 10, you're getting. You're getting a maybe a franchise player to. Well, not as high as elite, but a franchise player, probably that possibility. It's just a good draft in the first 60 players. And from what I'm starting to read, it might not be as deep as we thought, as far as going down into the 3rd round and all that. But from what I get, the top 60, you want to get as many picks in that top 60. Okay. Did I babble enough for you guys? Yeah. Just to say, I've been, because I started to exercise actually twice already out of 4 days, not great. Stretching, because I got to start stretching and moving my body. My back's acting up horribly the last 2 days, so I did it 2 days, and then I stopped for 2 days because of it. So anything comes out of the mouth right now may be influenced by my back meds, so I guess I should warn you guys that. Should have said that to start out with. But hey, that's how it is, right? It's not the vodka, I promise you. Hey, wouldn't that be great though if you could get ice inside? Because when I drank more, I don't drink much anymore. Vodka's my drink. If I'm going to drink hard stuff, it's usually vodka, and you keep it in the freezer. But wouldn't it be great if you can just keep it around ice like that? But one thing, if this was vodka, there's no way I can take a sip like that. No way. I'd be coughing and choking. No, I'm not a straight. I'll drink shooters, though. Shooters are okay with a beer chaser. That's cool. But no, not that much a one shot. A little shooter, yeah, okay. Do you want the Habs to re-sign Tatar? Or, by the way, and this is not being a Nazi grammar. What you wrote there was resign. Resign is actually, you got to separate the two words. Everybody does it, and I did it for a long time, knowing I'm doing it wrong, but not bothering to check. And then sorry. So do you want to re-sign Tatar, or do you think they should trade him near the deadline for picks? I say it this way. If Tatar is having the same type of season as he had this one so far, if they fit it, whatever. But if he's still playing the way Tatar's has played this season, I say re-sign him, as long as he's not asking for ridiculous money. So to me, the point is, it would be, see how he's going by the All-Star break. Maybe have ongoing negotiations. If he is still playing this game, maybe even, I think he's hit his prime. He's at 29, I think. He's one of those guys that doesn't fall off at 28 or 29, I think. So if he hasn't fallen off, I think you got to negotiate to re-sign him, because I think he may be more beneficial to you than trading and getting futures for him, because that's what it is. Draft picks are futures. You don't know. Draft picks are still a roll of the dice. When you've got somebody that Montreal is a team for him that fits for him, you can see it. Vegas didn't fit for him. Detroit was a pretty good fit for him. But man, oh man, Montreal has been one hell of a fit for this guy in his prime years. I don't know. I keep him. That's just me. I'd probably take a beating on that. If I did a video announcing that, I'd probably take a beating on that. But I'd be inclined. If he has a drop off, that's a different story. So say he has a significant enough drop off where you can see, well, he might struggle to hit 50 points, but his value might still be up there enough that might be the time to move him. Yeah, you'd probably have a lesser return than you would have got this season. I'll give you that, but you'd probably still get a decent return for him. But no, I think if you've held on to him, and they did, I think your first inclination is to hopefully re-sign him. That's what I think. How is Quebec? Well, Nolan, in what way? We're doing fine as far as people staying in, people staying at home and doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're doing pretty good. I believe we're about hit our peak, and I think things are looking good. But that's across the board. Yeah, out in BC, it's looking really good as well too. I think Canada overall, we're gonna do okay here. Now remember, it's first wave, so I think we're gonna get through this first wave pretty good, and then it's a matter of how they and here in Quebec, how they let us go back to our normal lives as far as what restrictions they lift and everything. So, but I mean, it's good. I mean, it's as good as anywhere else, I would think, in Quebec. I'm in Dorval, where they just had that seniors residence thing happen, where it's pretty bad. That whole it's what kicked off this whole thing with them being more concerned about the seniors residence, is because what they found here in Dorval. So if you want to check it out, I don't want to talk about it here too much. You can look it up, Google it. It'll come up really fast on top of the search. But other than that, things are going good here in Quebec. Like knock wood, so far so good. I'm handling it good. How you doing out there? From what I understand, BC's handling it well. Habs Girl just got a notification from the NHL channel classic game they just uploaded is Game 4 from Montreal versus Philly 76 Cup Final. Yeah, that was a good game where Philly Philly did not think they were going to get swept by Montreal. There's no way. They were the Broad Street bullies. They tried to bully Montreal, but Montreal gave it to them every single game, gave them back whatever they gave them, and they had more talent. And it proved that talent wins over size necessarily. Now, if you could have big, talented guys that didn't have to beat you up to win, if that's what Philadelphia had, Montreal might not have won. But Philadelphia did not have a team full of talented players. They had some very talented players, but it wasn't a full team. Like Montreal was loaded. I mean, was literally loaded. And I mean, front, back, goal, they were loaded. And yeah. And I'm not sure, was it 76? That's right. Wayne Stevenson was the goalie, I think, for Philly. And he just didn't, he wasn't as good as Dryden. And I think our defense was a lot better, but they had some big guns up front, but not enough. We just had them all around. So yeah, good game. And that's a really good game. I saw a little bit of it when I was doing the Good Friday Massacre. So I watched that game, and I watched the '93 Cup win. I watched the Game 5 against LA because I did the review separately. I did the run up to the Cup and then the review. And I couldn't for the '86 one. I couldn't get the game, and I was doing it, so I was able to see enough. And I didn't do a review, but I did it in my Road to the Cup video. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, Habs Girl, I don't know, because I haven't seen you there. I don't know if you've been gone, or I was so worried that you might have gotten sick and all that stuff. So, but I did the '86 Cup and the '93 Cup. And I did the '84 Good Friday Massacre. If you've never seen that one, that is, just look that one up, Good Friday Massacre. Watch that game. It's available. The fights between the end of period 2 and before they could drop the puck for period 3. Amazing. I was watching it. So if none of you watched the video, just in case you had or hadn't, I said it in the video when I found it. I wasn't sure I was going to do a video what I was going to do, and then I saw someone mention it, and I had forgotten about that game. And I went, wait, it's like Good Friday tomorrow. Oh, I got to do this video tomorrow. Thank God it fell into my lap now. So that morning, I'm watching the game, and even though I had forgotten about it, that it had occurred, when the play was happening, it was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember this. I remember that. And then the fights came, and my heart's going, and I'm on the edge of my seat, and I realize how much I hate the Nordiques. I hate the Nordiques. I hate Dale Hunter. And as much as I love the rivalry, and I do want to see them back, I hate the Nordiques. And it just got all that old feeling again. It was unbelievable. But then because I ended up watching 2 videos, shorter videos that had the fights, and then I watched the whole game. So by the time I watched it a second and third time, I didn't get the heart pumping, but I never lost my hate for the Nordiques. But it's just amazing how you can watch something from that far back. And because I remember it from the day, and oh my God, that game, did it drive us crazy. It just brings up all those old memories. My heart was pounding. I felt like I was there. I could remember all those feelings I had watching that game. It was amazing. So that was a blast. I got to tell you. I don't know if I did a good enough job in the video because I did the review of the game kind of. But I'll tell you, the emotion of watching it again was something else. And I haven't seen that one. And I'll tell you that 76 series, because Montreal, Philadelphia won the 2 seasons before the Cup. Broad Street Bullies, they just pretty much just bullied everybody. That's all it was. It was just intimidation. Enough good players. But, I mean, you take their best player who, I don't even arguably, but their best player was probably Bobby Clark. Now, Bobby Clark was a mean, tough son of a bitch, but he was a good hockey player. But, man, he was tough. And you had to like him because in 72, you had to like him before the Broad Street Bullies. In 72, the Canada-Russia Summit Series, I don't know that Canada would have won that series if Bobby Clark doesn't break, is it Valery Karlomov's ankle? Is it Yakashev or Karlomov? One of them. He broke their best player's ankle. And literally, he broke it. Slashed him in the ankle, broke his ankle on purpose. There's no doubt about it. He's never admitted to it, but it's without a doubt that's what he did. And I don't know if he would have. They would have won that, honestly. So he's the kind of guy who will do that, right? So I don't know. It was a good series though. That 76 series, yeah. I don't know what I was talking about. So they win the 74 and 75 Stanley Cup, and Montreal is amassing a team that would go on to be probably not win the most cups in a row because that was an earlier version of the Canadiens, but probably be considered maybe the best team ever put together. The 77-78 version, where they won 60 games, lost 8, and tied 12. And there hasn't. And then the seasons after, they were, I think the season before, it was 58 games, and the season after was 59 games. So they were really close. So that team was amazing. Just an amazing team. So where was I now? Gone. Oh, 76, yeah. So 76 came around, and 2 years in a row, Philadelphia was intimidating. Third year, they're in the finals, and Montreal makes it. And Montreal is not the biggest team, and but they're the best team and most skilled. And the Flyers tried to intimidate Montreal, and it didn't work in any of the games because Montreal swept them in 4, and it was beautiful to see them win in Philadelphia on Philadelphia's ice and didn't allow them. I don't even know if they got close. I think that 4th game was pretty exciting, and it was a better game than the first 3. But yeah, but I have to say, Reggie Leach, I believe in '76, Reggie Leach won the Conn Smythe Trophy on a losing team because he had a hell of a series and a hell of a Stanley Cup playoffs. So that's what I remember from that. And I do remember, I'm not sure if that's the Dornhofer hit by Larry Robinson. Larry Robinson took out Gary Dornhofer. I don't know if it was in the finals or during the season, but he just demolished him. And yeah, Robinson was there when he needed to be. Robinson was tough when he needed to be. And they just showed Philly what having talent meant. No, you just went down, sweetheart. So no, let me finish my live stream. Julien Gilles Beliveau, take your government opium. What does that mean? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Julian, but you can hopefully let me know what you mean by that down below. Oh, that's what you mean by my. Okay, Habs girl answered it. Yeah, it's prescribed medication for when I have my bad back. But yeah, listen, you got to enjoy things. Enjoy it while you can. If you got to take it, might as well enjoy it. Nolan, here in BC, the number of cases have been slowing down, and yeah, it's not bad here. Getting really sick of the quarantine. Well, everybody is. When they get a vaccine, well, let's hope in the next 18 months. The best we can do is hope it's 18 months, not 5 years. Yeah, honestly, Nolan, for sports, amateur sports, I don't know what's going to happen. I honestly don't know. But everybody's dying to get out. And if we do this, if we all do this, the quicker that'll happen. So we just have to be patient, and it'll happen. But things are going to be different in the future. Till there is a vaccine for sure that works and can reduce that risk to almost nothing, things are going to be different somewhat. Did I see? First of all, Randy. Hey, Randy. Thanks for coming in, man. Did I see Dennis Martinez's perfect game last night on TV? No, because I don't have cable. But I did see on Twitter they were talking about it. And hey, listen, I remember seeing the game. I wasn't there at the stadium, but I mean, I think I watched it on TV. If I didn't watch it on TV, I definitely was in the car, probably delivering pizzas in those days, listening to it. But 100%, I remember that game. El Perfecto, excuse me. El Presidente, El Perfecto. Great voice of baseball, by the way. Habs girl, sorry, missed the past few live streams, but I'm all good. Thanks. Great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate that you're all glad to see I'm doing vids. I feel bad I'm not doing enough videos. I mean, I guess it's because my role model is the hockey guy, and I mean, I can't even hope to keep up with him. So I'm not really worrying anymore too much about my pace anymore. That's why the live streams I had didn't do one for 11 days. I was trying to just kind of get into a rhythm with my videos, and I'm not really worrying too much about if they come out every day or not. Because there'll be days when I don't have any. There'll be days when I have one. There'll be days when I have two. And then yesterday I had three. So three, not yesterday, 2 days ago, and two today. So yeah, for me, the point is, there's videos still coming. I don't usually go more than 2 days without putting out a video, and then I'll usually put out two or three. So just remember that. If you don't see it for a couple of days, they're coming. I'm not going to worry too much about that because it stresses me out, and I'm already stressed enough with everything going on. I don't really need any more stress, so I decided I'm not stressing myself anymore about my videos, and I think that's when my writer's block stopped, because I had writer's block for 2 weeks, like literally for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, one day it just unblocked. I don't know how to describe it other than that. For 2 weeks, I could not even. I tried to write. I tried to sit and think about things to do, and I had nothing. I could barely put out a video here and there. It was really bad. I was struggling, and then all of a sudden one day it was like I was watching videos that I always watch, that I always got ideas from, but I was getting no ideas from, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, boom, and then I was able to put it together. It was like, oh my God, it's back. It was really funny. And then, hey, I did a poem. I finished a poem yesterday. I finished it yesterday. I only filmed it today. So I think being able to finish that poem kind of cemented that my writer's block was finished. Because I kind of think my writer's block and creative block, because some videos I don't write. I just I have the idea, and then I'll do a whiteboard maybe, but I don't write a script. So it's not really writing, but creatively I wasn't thinking anything. There just nothing was coming. And I had never gone through that before, because basically I've never been a creative person before this channel, in that I've written things and blah, blah, but I didn't do it on a regular basis like this. So I've never really had writer's block as far as I know, and didn't understand it. And then but the way it just goes away. I don't know if anybody out there's had it, writer's block, you can let me know. But the way it just goes away, and you don't know it until you do your normal thing. Well, let's try again, and then all of a sudden it's there. So yeah, there's my rant on writer's block that I hope I never will experience again. But I know that's probably not a reality. At least the next time it happens to me, having gone through it the one time, I will be a little less stressed about it and just a little more anxious about when it's going to break, but knowing that at some point it will. Habs girls are. Oh wait a second. I wanted to see something you read there. I know I read some of this. Just watched the full Good Friday Massacre game. It was great. It was really, really great. Especially, see, I don't know your age. I might have asked you already, but you're a girl, so you don't have to answer that. But I remember that it was 84, and I remember that so well. As a matter of fact, it was April 20th. One of the big things, so everyone knows by now I would think that I'm Jewish, which I'm an atheist now, but I'm Jewish. So growing up that way, now my family, my immediate, we were not religious. Even our general family wasn't religious, but we were traditional. So we always went to my grandmother's or my aunt's for Passover. And traditional because there would be playoffs at that time of the year. And so traditionally, right after, we'd watch the game. Sometimes we'd even rush through the Seder, and go and watch the game. So That was more than likely, that was a game that was right after a, I seem to think that it was right after a Seder. And yeah, it was just so fun to watch that one again, especially because I forgot about it. I forgot about that game. That's not my like my forte. Is not that I have necessarily a bad memory, although it's kind of as I'm getting older, I'm forgetting words and people's names more than ever. But um, I just like I forgot that that game even happened. So it was really great to see it and then to remember it as it's unfolding. Oh yeah, yeah, and then just the emotions coming back was so cool. Uh, when do I think the Habs will be a serious contender? That's a good question, and it's you can only give a guess because it's going to rely on the fact that some of the draft picks that they made, excuse me, in the last couple of seasons are going to pan out and not be bust. Now, some of them will be, but obviously not all of them will be. So my best guess is they will become serious contenders 3 to 5 years from now. I think in that window. Now, I think they'll make the playoffs next year with the right moves. I think they can make the playoffs next year. I think they'll make the playoffs the year after that. And then I think they start to get into that contender category. If they've made the right moves, the players have started to work out, made it to the team. But it's just a start because when you think the pipeline, those guys need a couple of years experience. So that's why the 3 to 5 years. It may happen as early as 3 years, but I would think within 5 years, you're looking at a team that could already have won the cup, be in the year that they're going to win the cup, or be that serious contender and make it to the finals and stuff like that in that next year or two. So I know it seems like distant, but winning a cup is either lightning in a bottle one year, and they say that's what happened with St. Louis. But when you look at it, St. Louis wasn't a horrible team. They were just horrible that year, and they were really underperforming until they weren't anymore, and they made that run. So it looks more of a Cinderella story than it really was, but teams can hit lightning in a bottle one year and get it there. And with other teams dropping out that they don't have to face, like what happened in 86. Was it 86 or 90? I think it's 86. Let me go back now. I just did the video. The Oilers got knocked out early. Washington and Philadelphia both got knocked out early in the East. And that opened the door for Montreal and other teams, but being a Habs fan, we saw that it opened the door for Montreal not to have to face the Oilers in the final if they make it, and not to have to face either Washington or Philadelphia in order to get to the final. That made a huge difference that year. So I think they'll be a serious contender, 3 to 5 years. But like I said, you never know. They can make the playoffs next year, and teams drop around them, and they're in the finals, and then you never know. Jeff Scarecrow, hey buddy, thanks for coming in. Fun fact: 10 years ago today, the Canadiens started their magical 2010 playoff run with a 3-2 overtime win against Washington. Oh, I remember that Washington series win. But wait a second now. How did that end? It was magical in that we won a couple of series we weren't supposed to. Am I right? But we obviously in 2010 we did not make it to. Well, we haven't made the finals in a long time, but we didn't. I don't think we made the conference, or did we? Refresh me. I just said I forget some stuff, so you got to refresh me a little more than that, there, Jeff. And we're running out of questions already. Oh my God! Well, that's usually what happens at the hour. So let me see what I can add to this. I guess I've got a question that maybe you guys, somebody out here, well, there's only 6 now. Maybe somebody out here can answer. Does anybody know how to make emojis? I need to make some emojis for my channel. And I can't afford to have them designed by professionals. and I can't seem to find, like, there's an emoji maker. You would have thought there'd be an emoji maker app out there that I can use that's not on a phone that I can use on my computer. If anybody that's still listening knows that, I'd appreciate if you could let me know. We defeated the Caps, then the Penguins. That's right. That's right. That's right. President's Trophy winners. And somebody else, right? Or came close to. But I remember that it was the Capitals and the Penguins in a row. And that's right. The Penguins had won the cup the previous. Yeah, I knew there was something big about it. But who did we lose to in the, I guess, third round, right? But I remember that 2010, and I think since then, or there's been periods of 3-4 years in a row where they'll win. They'll have a good season, a bad season, good season, bad season. So, and they've done that. We had a good season, bad season, bad season, good season, bad season, which would have been 2019-20. Let's hope 2020-2021 continues that good, bad. Oh, wait, I got it wrong. Bad, good for the next season. Or at the very least, if we get to finish this season and they kind of revamp the playoffs. Although, I was just thinking about it I don't know why, just as I was about to say something, I rethought it. And this is what I rethought. I had already done a video, and people have done videos and talked about the fact that they might sort of rejig the format and add 24 teams and possibly all the teams in the tournament for the playoffs. But then that doesn't really make sense if they're going to finish the season out. So if they finish the regular season, I don't know that the Habs can make the playoffs if they still have the opportunity left. But then I would imagine that if they're going to finish the regular season games, they're going to not have 24 teams make the playoffs. Okay. Michael Leighton was the Flyers goalie. I remember that. Had 3 shutouts in 5 games. Habs didn't stand a chance. I remember that. And we were so positive that this garbage goalie that Flyers have, because the Flyers have had trouble with goaltending for many years. As a matter of fact, since Pelle Lindgren got killed in a car crash, because he was a very promising goalie, if he's not already a top goalie in the league. They haven't really recovered from that and had a really good goalie, in my opinion, since then. Now, Michael Leighton was just one of those guys that got hot. So that case in point where I made in a video about Carey Price, why you don't really need the best goalie in the league to win a cup. Now, Philly didn't go on to win the cup, but it's still a case in point in that all you really need is a hot goalie. 4 rounds of a hot goalie, or 2 rounds each of 2 hot goalies, and you can win a cup. And Michael Leighton was really just a journeyman type of goalie, and he came in and he just blew the doors off of us. Like he said, 3 shutouts in 5 games. I remember that. We were so pissed off that this Flyers goalie could keep us from scoring. Oh, my God. After the hope of those first 2 wins, and then you come up against Michael Leighton and you can't beat him. So, yeah, I remember that. Okay. We are at 1 hour and 8 minutes. I'm losing my voice, and we're out of questions. So I'm going to call this a really good, and like I got to say, guys, this was a really fun. Before I sign out, I want to read Habs Girl's comment. Rewatching 2014 playoffs, St. Bruins home in game 7. That's always fun. I don't care how bad a team we have. As long as we beat the Bruins in any playoff series, we don't necessarily need to win the cup. Yeah, we need to win the cup. But if we don't, at least we did that. I think it was maybe in the second round that, I think so. That series against the Bruins was great. The rivalry between Lucic and Weiss. Yeah, as a matter of fact, and Emelin was fun. It's funny because I just saw something, and I'm trying to remember what videos on YouTube where they showed that series with Lucic and Weiss, all of the what's the word I'm looking for? Not interactions, but you know, all the little things they had going. Jeff Scarecrow, here's my approach. Halleck was by far the best player against the Caps, and Camilleri was the best player against the Penguins. Oh, it was that the year that the year before we traded Halak, right? So he totally took over the playoffs. Yeah, Halak was amazing, and Camilleri, I guess so. I guess so. I guess I was never the biggest Camilleri fan. And listen, here I'm the guy sticking up for small guys, and I think that's the thing that bugged me about Camilleri is he was too small. To not to say that he had no talent, he had lots of talent, but his body was just too small to get the best out of that guy's talent. I think that bugged me about him, but it was terrible what Montreal did. Oh, Pierre Gauthier should be not. I don't like doing violence against people, but I mean he should be punished in some way that's not very nice for what he did to Camilleri, trading him that way in the middle of during a game in the middle of the period. I mean, that's ridiculous. So yeah, Halak was great, and I kind of hope we see that combination again next season. Halak and Price as our goalies. I really would like to see that work out. Wolverine, the 2014 Bruins and Habs series was fun and intense. It's also too bad because I remember some of those Bruins fans made those racist comments on Twitter against Subban. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, yeah, it's too bad. You know, if you have anything against Subban, the color of his skin should not be what it is. My God. I think, you know, here in Montreal, I think the problem here for Quebecers or Habs fans that didn't like him was the fact that he was flashy and flamboyant, and you know, he was a character, and he had to have the nerve to be black at the same time, and I think that pissed some people off. That's how I used to put it, that he had the nerve to be black. He couldn't be white. They would have liked him a lot better here. Okay, I didn't really say that. No, Subban was one of my favorite players. But yeah, he got a lot of racism, and it was really sad to see. I mean, here's a guy he was a great, if he would have stayed here in Montreal, I love Weber and all that, but if he would have stayed here, I don't think his career would have gone downhill the way it has. But yeah, there was a lot of that garbage against him. Wolverine, no, that's not a problem. You're bringing it up in a way that's not negative because we're talking about something, and talking about it is better than not talking about it. And Jeff, your comment got hidden, but I'm going to unhide it. And Boston is home to the angriest, racist people in the United States. Very true. And I've got to tell you, Quebec is home to the sneakiest, backstabbiest racists in North America. They don't let you know your face that they're racist, but they'll let you know when you turn around and walk away. So not a good combination. And that's what happened. Yeah, you know, it was a real shame to see Subban be talked about for anything other than his hockey skills. Why anybody ever talked about that he's a black player? You don't see that so much anymore. In my day, I'm growing up, I don't remember a black player. But when they started to come in, I mean, let's say he was a black hockey player. He's a black hockey player. You mean he's a hockey player that happens to be black? That's really what they should have said. But today I noticed they don't really say that so much anymore, right? You don't hear it. You don't hear like Darnell Nurse. You don't hear them saying, yeah, he's a black hockey player. Whereas in my day, they would have said that. But today they just don't, which is, I mean, that's a little bit of progress right there. Thank God there's some kind of progress, but there is at least a little bit there. But believe me, in my day, if a black hockey player came along, he that's what he was called, a black hockey player. So, which is ridiculous. I'm just so glad, you know, I didn't end up a racist. I could have. I grew up around a lot of people that I would There maybe not be so much racist today, but they were back then because it was more accepted. But thank God that just never sunk in. I'm so happy, proud of myself that way, because it would have been it would have been really easy to be just be a racist asshole, and I'm glad I'm not. Remember what Bill Peters said? Yeah, he just got hired in the KHL. Am I right? Bill Peters, he was the coach of Calgary. Is it Calgary? Yeah, they just hired him. I don't remember what team. It was in the hockey news, the Hockey Guys news video. Yeah, he got hired somewhere. Okay, what are you? Randy's agreeing with Habs girl. I forgot. Oh, okay, yeah, it was a great game. Yeah, this is one of the beauteous. I was gonna say beauteous. Can you believe that? Wow, wow. Okay, one of the beautiful things about YouTube is in this time where we're denied our hockey. Yeah, you can go back and find any game kind of that you remember growing up, or 5, 10 years, or whatever was an important game that you remember. You can go watch it, and that's really cool. Oh, good on him. Okay, yeah. Look, I don't remember exactly what he did, but I think when he got fired, I think we all said that he'll probably have to go to the KHL to get hired, and it turns out that's what he did. Yeah, me too, Randy. When I find now that I guess YouTube knows my that I watch a few games. I've watched a few, so it gets the algorithm picks up on that, and yeah, it's starting to feed me games here and there, and every now and then it spits out one, and I go, oh wow, yeah, okay, I want to watch. None of that. I want to do a video on that, and I think that might have been how I got started on my idea to do the '93 season in review, because I was doing seasons in review, right? I started from 63, 64, thought I'd work my way right up through, realized nobody really wants to see those old videos too much, so it's going to take me a long time to get anywhere where anybody's going to want to see. So I thought I would shift up a bit, and I was planning to do something different, but a little bit farther up. And then it threw me the '93 Game 5 against the Kings, and I went, oh, hey, this gives me an idea. And then I did that. And then I did the 1986, and I actually did a 3. If you're interested in it, anybody watching, it's a 3 video set in a way. I did the Patrick Roy Hall of Fame career video. So Patrick Roy was a rookie in 1986. I did the road to I did the season in review, 1986 season in review. And then I did the 1986 Road to the Cup. So it's 3 videos that kind of go together. So yeah, and then with the '93 one, I did the Road to the Cup, left out Game 5, and did Game 5 because it threw me the game. I did it as a game review, like I did all my other game reviews. I did it. So if you haven't seen it, if it hasn't given you the notification that you haven't seen it, go check on my channel. Those videos are out there. I thought that was fun doing the game review for that. I thought that was kind of fun, just to review an old game the way I'm used to doing these. Jeff, again through your swearing comment to hide, he says, "F anyone who is racist." I couldn't agree with you more, buddy. I couldn't agree with you more. I would be even stronger, but we don't want to get too much swearing here just because of the algorithm. I can't anyway. You guys can put what you want. And yeah, racist, man, you just suck. I'm sorry. If you're out there, you're one of my guys in the room and you're a racist. I mean, if you want to come out and say, well, I'm a racist, and you know what, just unsubscribe and go I don't believe any of you are. Don't take it the wrong way, but that's how I would be if one of you guys or any of my subscribers that come in regularly and that I might like, and then he tells me he's a racist, I would please unsubscribe. Just go away, because there's no excuse for being a racist. There's none, because there's an excuse for being a racist, maybe growing up because you're influenced. But once you're aware, once you get out into the world and you see people that are different than you and you have to interact with them and you go, well, they're just people, then you should be smart enough to not be a racist anymore. Because quite frankly, I'll admit it, that's kind of what happened to me. I grew up around a little bit of racism, not horrible, but I kind of fell in line with that. And then I went to work and I met people that I would have been racist against, or I never enjoyed being in it. I always thought it was bad, but you don't know any different. And then I realized they're just people. They're just people. And I lost my, I lost my whatever you want to call it. So I don't do that anymore. As a matter of fact, I don't even like to think the N-word. So like if I'm ever thinking, and just, out of old habit, because it's, how many years growing up, and it might enter my mind, I chastise myself. And then I laugh to myself, like, who does that? Just because I thought something? And then I get mad at myself. So yeah. Yeah, that's the way it is. So yeah, to that comment. Okay, that's pretty interesting, Randy, because I had to double look at your comment. He said, yes, roadside, all halal saves against Pittsburgh and Washington. Now, the reason I have to look at that, I know he means halak, but halal is the Muslim, how you, for meat, isn't that halal? Halal meat? So I'm thinking, what is he saying there? Sorry, guys. Aye. Wolverine, racism will always exist. Unfortunately, it will always exist. But as long as people are fighting against it, and we're making there's less and less racists out there all the time, that's all you can do. But racism, unfortunately, is part of the human condition, and yeah, it'll always be around. Yeah, you're right about that, especially during this pandemic. Yeah, from people who want to be calling things, like the Chinese virus and this and that. Like, how does that help? What's the difference where it comes from? And then you could say, well, there's a lot of things named like that, but it was used in a very derogatory way, a very racist way, and there's no doubt about how he meant it. And it's caused for a lot of racism against the Asian people in the U.S. especially. These YouTube videos remind me of the other unknown Habs that won the cup, such as Lehman, Gilbert Dion, Cordic. I think I did a couple videos with these guys in there. I mentioned them in a few. Maybe I'll do a video about the unsung hero. The only thing I'm going to say, I've got an issue with Gilbert Dion. I just have an issue with him, and from this, and I could even be off base with it, but it sticks with me to this day. He had when he first came up, he had a great run, 21 goals. I want to say 40 odd points in a shortened amount of time. He didn't have a full season. He got called up at some point, and he had a really good run. Yes. Then the next season in the playoffs, there was a scrum in front of the net. The Habs had scored, and right away before, like, you couldn't tell who scored. And maybe I'm wrong, because maybe it was just his way to say he scored, but he came out of it just grandstanding. Oh, I got it, it was me, like that. And ever since then, I don't like the guy. And they traded him in the Philadelphia trade, Leclerc, Desjardins, him for Mark Recchi. And I was glad he was gone, because listen, he was not as talented as his brother, that's for sure. But he did have a great run, and I loved it. That first year, his run there, 21 goals was really nice. Maybe even it was 22 goals. I'm not sure. But I have an issue with Gilbert Dion because of that. John Cordick, well, but John Cordick was he was just there to fight, and he was a tough guy. He didn't have the skill that Nyland had. Now, Gary Lehman is an odd duck in that Gary Lehman scored 50 goals for the Calgary Flames, I want to say. Maybe it was the Toronto Maple Leafs, but he scored 50 goals, and I want to say even twice in his career. Comes to Montreal. I think it's like his career went downhill when he came here. He came here and it was poop. He dropped right off the mat over a year and a little bit. But he was here for a Stanley Cup championship in '86. And I was kind of disappointed. I thought Gary Lehman, wow, the 50-goal scorer, we got him. It was great. And I don't know what happened. But yeah, he was here for a Stanley Cup. Roadside Scarecrow, or Jeff Scarecrow. I don't know why I called you the old thing. I agree with you. There's always going to be bad, but there's more good people than bad. Oh, is that what they're putting up there, Randy? All the Canadian wins in all the sports? Yeah, Mike Weir's Masters. But again, there's a guy won the Masters. Did he win anything big after that? I don't think so. But proud to say, Canadian won the Masters that year. I'm a golfer. I was anyway. I don't know if I could play anymore, but yeah, I was. I love golf. But another guy that just couldn't handle the pressure after that. Randy, I have to say one of the worst trades was trading a young Leclerc for Recchi because he was so good. Yeah, I only question this. I don't know. I kind of think he might have, but I'm not positive he would have broken out to those numbers because I don't know if we had the guys to play with him, but it was pointed out to me in a video the other day that I think when I did the Patrick Waugh Hall of Fame video, and I said in that the team hasn't really recovered since the Patrick Waugh trade till maybe now. And the person pointed out that it might have started with the Leclerc trade. Excuse me. And I thought about it, and it might be. It goes back as far as that, and then the Patrick Waugh trade just sealed it up. And and I think when they traded Carbo as well, not good. But I can't remember what year that was they traded Carbo. I might have that even wrong. It might have been after Patrick Waugh. I don't remember now. Too many things in my head jumbled up. TSN is also showing a lot of retro Expos games. I would think they're probably getting ready as far as the fact that maybe Montreal is going to get a baseball team soon. They're trying to get Expos fans back to watching, get the juices flowing for a baseball team in Montreal. Randy, you agree about the showboat, that he was a showboat? Yeah, he was. He was a bit of a showboat, Dion. That's the thing that only knocked against him I have. And listen, he quite frankly did not have the talent of his brother Marcel. There's just no doubt about it. Okay, Habs girl, if I'm not too late, hey, thanks for coming in. Take it easy out there in Australia. Have a great day, night, whatever it is there as well. And hope to see you next live stream. And yes, please stay safe. Be good. Follow the rules and stay safe. Randy, Rob Ramage 2. Yeah, I kind of remember Rob Ramage when he was here. He was it was late in his career, if I remember. It kind of they had to sort of baby him a little bit in the lineup. He couldn't play all the time, if I'm correct. He was getting a little bit old. Habs wanted to have a veteran presence on team. I'm fine with that, but the fact we traded Leclerc for him was a big mistake. Well, you know what? You got to look at it. Not just Leclerc. Also, Desjardins was a good defenseman too. You gave up Leclerc, Desjardins. To me, those are that. If they gave up, they shouldn't have given both in that deal. I don't think it was necessary to give up both. So, and I want to say, who was the GM then? That was who was the GM then? Was that Savard that did that? If it was a mistake. Do I think Bob Gainey and Carbo have buried the hatchet? That's a good question. I don't. That's a good question. I tend to think they have publicly, but if I guess Carbo correctly, I don't think fully. But I think publicly and anything to do with the Canadians in a public, I think that they have. But if I remember watching him, I think I've seen an interview where he was asked that, and I got the feeling that it is not fully on his part, Carbo. And quite frankly, I don't blame him because I don't think Carbo should have been fired that season. I don't think so at all. I think Carbo did a good job, and I think maybe the Habs were in a bit of a slump, or they needed a couple of pieces missing. But I thought he was a good coach. Yeah, Jeff Scarecrow. That's what I've been saying. Great player, not so great coach. Not so great GM. Not so great GM. I thought, yeah, I don't think his years as a GM here befit the player that he was. I really don't because, yeah, just Scott Gomez alone. I mean, that was Ryan McDonough for Scott Gomez. Just that alone right there. Ooh, that was bad. I mean, when I heard about the trade, I was disappointed that he traded Ryan McDonough. I had high hopes for the kid. But I heard Scott Gomez, and I was kind of happy because I remember Scott Gomez with the Devils. Oh, this is a good player. Okay, this isn't so bad. This is something we could use. But my God, that was a bad trade. And it's come out, I think, since that trade that Gainey probably should have known better in Gomez because he was already starting to show signs of the decline, and he shouldn't have given up such a important piece of the future of Montreal in McDonough. So, yeah, I think he made a lot of bad decisions in his day as GM. But my God, I loved him as a player. Literally bumped into him accidentally, where we literally bumped into each other twice in my life, and just not a fan of him as a GM. Okay, so we're getting to the hour and a half. I'm going to finish the questions I got here, and then I am calling it a night because my voice is going. By watching the captain's reunion, which I missed. I didn't get that either. Plus, Bob fired Carbo after a win for the Habs. Yeah, I don't think it's. I think they smoothed it over for public when they have to be doing something public together, but I don't think it's a full smooth over. And yeah, he didn't deserve to be fired. There's no way he deserved to be fired, and he shouldn't have been fired. He drafted Price. That was a good one. He drafted Subban and Pacioretty, but he also traded for McDonough for Gomez. No, I think that's a big bad one. And, with the drafting Price, Subban, and Pacioretty, first of all, I think with Price, he had a big input, but it doesn't mean he necessarily with Subban and Pacioretty because Trevor Timmins was still here. I don't know how much input. Timmins had a lot of input. I don't know how much authority or what's the word I'm looking for to make the drafts, but I know that for Price, yeah, Gainey had a big. Gainey's the reason probably that Price was drafted 5th overall. Timmins might have gone another way. You never know, and I tend to think that he might have. Oh my God! Now they're coming in. He did get Kovalev. That's true. Which player do I think will be involved in a blockbuster trade that Bergevin might make in the offseason? I think Bergevin will do something big in the offseason. Me too. I think he needs to do something big because I think he needs to get 2 very important pieces, and I think he needs to do them by trade, and that's a number 1 left defense, so we can literally have this number 1 left defense, Sherratt as second pairing, and Romanov third pairing to start the season. I think he needs to address some scoring up front. So I think he's going to need to do something. And to do that, you've got to give up something more, not just draft picks. Although he may be able to pull off what he needs with draft picks. Look, if the cap goes down, he may be able to pull it off with draft picks. People need to unload, and he may be able to do that. So we'll have to see how it works out. So I don't know, but I kind of think a lot of talk is about Lehkonen, and I certainly hope that he doesn't. But I would think, Drouin, Lehkonen would be in play. Let me think for a second here now. Ryan Poehling might be in play for that. Yeah, so we'll have to see. Yeah, so mediocre would be right, Jeff. You're right. Okay, Randy, but maybe because it was all in one day and it was all three guys I didn't know that well, and it just felt so weird that I don't agree with that. It was a big boon of a day. I really don't, because it was not a great era for Montreal as well. And it's nothing against Camilleri or Gionta, really, personally, especially Gionta. Gionta, stand-up guy, just didn't have that 40-goal scorer in him left. But good captain, good leader, that's for sure. Yeah, so he was mediocre. But some thinks somehow, some way, the Habs are going to trade for Sidney Crosby. I have this in a video, 7 things that could happen in the next 7 years. And one of them is that Sidney Crosby signs for his last season in Montreal. He finishes his current contract with Pittsburgh and signs to play 1 season in Montreal because he's always wanted to do that. And I think he might if he's healthy enough. So, but I don't think they'll have to trade to get him. That's how I think they'd get him. The only way I think they'd get him. It's hard to hire friends and teammates to work together, especially when one might get fired. Well, that's, yeah. If you talk, yeah, okay, I get why. Between Gainey and, yeah, well, okay, but I mean, listen, I don't think he fired him at a good time. I don't think it was the right thing to do. So I could see it if Carbo was not doing good, if the record was horrible, if it was really a real shit show, yeah, I think firing was the right thing, and there's no reason for Carbo to be upset. I think the way it happened, I understand why Carbo would be upset about it. Cammy and Gio were both great players. Gomez was not. Gomez was a good player. Listen, Cammy and Gio were not great players. They were really good players. If they had bigger size, they could have been great players. I'm sorry, but they were really good players. I'm not putting them down. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. But that's my opinion. Look at these relationships which has soured. Lemaire Lafleur, Gainey, Carbo, Tremblay, Roy. And it's funny, how it's always been in that either coach player or GM coach. But you're right. There's 3 relationships that have soured, and I doubt we'll ever fully get back to normal. Hopefully, if Crosby comes to Montreal in 7 years, the Habs will hopefully be a cup contender so that Sid can win a cup. Hey, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay, well, Wolverine's going to go now. So am I. Jeff, you're right. Trust is the most important key to success, especially in relationships. Especially if you don't have trust, you got nothing in a relationship. Doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is either. It doesn't matter. Any kind. If you want that relationship to work, you need to trust each other. Okay, on that note, I'm going to take off. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I really do appreciate it. I am going to be back now. Let's see. We are Wednesday, probably Saturday. I'm not going to guarantee anything yet, but I will be back in the next few days. I will announce it in the community tab, and there will be a thumbnail, and it'll be posted before I decide to go online. So thanks everybody for being here. Super duper appreciate it. And I just hope you guys have a great rest of the night, rest of the week, or till the next live stream. Please, everybody, keep safe. Wash your hands often. Stay at home as much as you can. Seriously, unless you got to go to work, you got to go shopping or got to go out, really try to limit it. It's starting to work pretty soon because New York just did it. Pretty soon they're going to be making us wear masks to go outside. It's going to be, you're going to have to do that. So, yeah, I'm getting some masks. They're supposed to be in, I hope, by tomorrow from the hockey guy's wife. So I'll wear them. I'll show you guys on the next live stream. And yeah, everybody take care. Thumbs up. Appreciate. Peace out. Take it easy, everybody. See you next one.